Man, this is some bull, man. Caleb Plant was styling. He was doing a good ass job, man. He was doing so well, man. 11th round championship rounds. He made one fucking mistake. That's all it took was one mistake, man. Canelo tagged him, hurt him. Oh man. Oh man. Caleb was doing so good. Shout out to Caleb Plant, man. Wonderful, wonderful performance. He did the best he could do. You know what I mean? He looked wonderful out there. He looked like a Floyd Mayweather for some rounds, man. And he just he gave Canelo all he can handle. Gave Canelo all he can handle, man. Yeah, but anyway, it was a good fight, man. Good fight. I had Caleb Plant winning until that stoppage by Canelo. hmm Look at Russell Moore. Yeah, he jumped in there and stopped that shit pretty quick, didn't he? Yeah, he jumped in there and stopped that. Russell Moore got two big pay-per-view fights back to back. Yeah, he must have sucked somebody's dick the right way. The super chat, much love and much appreciation, homie. Since Plant was winning, but they was going to rob him on the cards either way. Screw the PBC. They effed over Wilder. Then as soon as Nello lands, they stop the fight. Boxing is corrupt. Shaking my head. They rigged it. Yeah, they rigged it. I mean, you can tell by the announcers.
What's good, family? So smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Oh man, this is mad. I can't lie to you. So we just heard there from your man's Big Mama looking ass, 78 Sports TV, aka Jabba the Hutt looking ass. Yeah? Now, it's crazy because I have to give 78 credit to some extent because whilst he's known as 78 IQ, aka 22 IQ points short of what we call a dime piece, an average piece, yeah? An average intelligence. Even though he down bad, even though his IQ down all the way bad, I'll give him credit because many people have said over time, oh, these guys, they pick sides and they take colour into account. But listen, this video is proven, or that clip you heard at the start of my video has proven it's not to do with colour, yeah? This guy is just delusional and super low IQ. Oh man, Caleb Plant won, and everyone on my chat had him winning by 6 rounds, and he got robbed, and the referee saved him. The referee saved Canelo Alvarez. The referee jumped in real quick. Oh yeah, you best believe the referee jumped in. Wow, and this is what I said. It's interesting because when the ref stepped in, at the time, I did say to myself, and in fact I even did a video on it and said, I think the referee should have given him the opportunity to get up and go out cold. Why? Because that's the fight game. That's what the fans pay for. That's what he's paid millions of dollars for. And finally, that's what stops trolls and everything else, all the goofies. It's better for everyone to let it go until it's finished. Because guess what? If Caleb wants to quit, he can quit. Let him quit or let him go spark out. This referee stepping in, all it does is lead to stupid controversy. Now, do I believe it would have made a scrap of difference? No. I know for a fact he was going to go cold out. That was the next step. However, Caleb Plant as a fighter, Alvarez as a fighter, they've both earned that right to do that. For example, Tyson Fury. You can't have the discrepancy, in my opinion. Tyson Fury was given full 10 seconds and given the opportunity to get up. That's how it should be. This whole picking and choosing ain't right. However, the way he's spinning it, and this is why I don't like it. This is why referees need to stay out of the video. They're trying to be all in the video, Diddy style. They want to get involved, you see. Now that fight was very clean. Alvarez versus Plant was very clean. So referees like to inject themselves and get some airtime. That was the referee getting some airtime. Because if you actually watch it, Plant was actually getting up. And if you watch carefully, when Plant went down, he actually had a smile on his face. Honestly, you can look at it. Plant had a bit of a smile on his face when he was getting up. It was almost like as if to say, oh, I can't believe I'm on the floor. He smiled to himself and he was getting up and the referee came and waved it off. That was uncalled for. However, these goofies to sit there and say that it was some big conspiracy and oh, the referee saved Alvarez and the referee jumped. It's mad, and that's what frustrates me even more. Because guess what? We all know Plant Pot was about to get sparked out. But the fact these guys will jump on it and then spin it to their advantage. Oh man, see I told y'all. He's set up. Yeah, Plant got robbed. He was winning on the card. He got robbed on the cards. Yeah, man, he was about to come back. He was about to knock out. He was about to win. That's what he was saying. 78 IQ said the referee saved Alvarez from losing on the cards. 78 said that if it had gone, the reason the referee stepped in and waved the fight off quickly was because the fight was about to be awarded to Caleb Plant on points. I mean, you heard him. He was saying he was like a 168 Mayweather in there. And this goes to show, never mind anything else, these guys, number one, like I've said, are super low IQ. Number two, they don't, because of their low IQ, because of their low IQ impediment, they don't know boxing. Because if you watched Alvarez versus Plant, Plant didn't show anything like Mayweather. Even the right hand, the roll right hand, that wasn't. Mayweather turns it over to his credit. This guy, Plant, was 20, 30 pounds heavier than Mayweather, but he had weaker punch, in my opinion. Honestly, he had a weaker punch than Mayweather did at 147. I believe it. I'm sorry. And Mayweather was never a big puncher. But this guy, Plant Pot, he did all the talking about how he heavy and where was all the heaviness? He was slapping. There wasn't even a bit of heaviness. But did you hear the way, Mum? You hear the way 78 IQ was gassing it? Oh, it was amazing. It was wonderful. Can't believe how good he was doing. Can't believe he got. Oh, he was winning until he got caught with one punch. Yo, that's mad. That is mad. And by the way, people, it's interesting because you hear there, he said, Plant was winning until he got caught with one punch. Well, what do we know about these Wilder fangirls? What were they saying about the first Wilder fight against Fury? Did they say, oh, Fury was winning until he got caught with one punch? No. They've said their man was winning. So it's interesting how they change narratives to suit their position. Plant wasn't winning no rounds. Not one round did Plant win, and not one time in the fight did I think, wow, this fight may go the other way. Plant's doing some work here that's going to translate to something in the end. Never. Not one punch, not one flurry, not one round did Plant put in where I thought this may change the direction of the fight. And that's for me where you score a round. For someone to win a round, you must have changed the potential direction of the fight. Yeah. He's put a round in the bank. That's how it works. When you win a round, you've put a round in the bank. Guess what? Every round that went by, Alvarez was putting assets in the bank. He was adding up his coins. Bottom line, never once did I see it. Did I sit there and think, wait a minute, Caleb Plant is putting some money in his bank right now. You know what I mean? He's banking these rounds away. Never. He looked like food from round 1 to round 11. That's a fact as well, by the way. In fact, that's the best way of explaining it. If you want to know how your man Caleb Plant looked, he looked like food from round 1 to round 11. Food. And he himself knew that. That's why he was caught exposed. That's why I leaked the video yesterday. Check my video out from yesterday. I leaked it. Your man Plant was in the ring begging Alvarez for pity. Begging for some empathy. Begging for some sympathy from Alvarez. He was saying, you know, I've got a wife and kids. I've got a wife and kid to go home to, Alvarez. You know, all this kind of stuff. Super duper emotional during the fight. Because he knew he was about to get touched. He knew he was about to go meet his maker. 100%. Yeah? And he weren't fixing to... He didn't want to travel yet. He weren't fixing to go... He was trying to avoid being sent to meet his maker. Yeah? He was trying to avoid meeting the man who made his wig for him. Because guess what? Alvarez was about to knock his wig off and send it all the way to the pearly gates for him. Yeah? No doubt. But these guys, like I said earlier, for me, we thought it was about colour and whatnot. But in a way, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that they're just fully delusional and fully low IQ. Because honestly, you man know me, I'm completely unbiased. And I was saying before the fight, I'd love nothing more than for Plant really to be the 168 Mayweather. Why? Because that's what sport's about for me. I'd love to have seen Alvarez tested and even maybe Alvarez lose. Because for me, seeing Alvarez lose, That would mean that we've got some serious competition now, wouldn't it? And that would mean the rematch would be, wow, how's Alvarez going to come back? This Plant guy is seriously special. That's what's exciting. For me, I know there's some Alvarez fans who probably don't want to hear this, but for me, sport isn't about just dominating. I like to see competition. I'd like to see Roy Jones Prime versus Alvarez. Do you understand? Then a fight where, for me, at this point, at 168, I'd sit there and say, I'm just not sure how that fight would go. Bottom line, Prime Alvarez, Prime Roy Jones. I want to see that fight. It's a 50-50 fight, even if you call it 60-40. Obviously, Alvarez fans will say it's 60-40 their way. Roy Jones fans will say it's 60-40 their way. That's the kind of fight I want to see. But guess what, people? It wasn't that. He wasn't even a bit close to that. And he's got, the way their man are talking like it was a boxing lesson. He was doing so well until the 11th round. What are you on about? He didn't land one decent punch. And then to carry on about how the referee saved him and the referee cheated, and it's madness, man. And what gets me the most is the fact that this guy sat there and said, yep, the judges robbed Plant because everyone in my chat, 10 people in my WhatsApp group, they all had it for Plant. Yeah, but listen, 78, you are the leader of your low IQ dons, yeah? You lead a whole army of low IQ sheeple, yeah? You lead a whole army of low IQ sheeple. And you're their leader. You're their big bubbly Jabba the Hutt leader, Jabba the Hutt general. So it's not as if they're going to tell you, oh, by the way, 78 IQ, you're actually gassed. What are you talking about? You're drunk off your head. What have you been sniffing? Yeah? Wipe your nose, because you've been on some serious sniff to think that Plant was doing anything. They ain't going to tell you that. They're going to rub your ego. Oh, yeah, you're right, 78. Yeah, he definitely won that fight. Yeah. That's what definitely happened as he slumped on the ropes, as the referee steps in to save his life for him. Yeah? That's why they told you that, because they're fangirls. Anyone who got any sense and has any IQ knows there was nothing close about that fight. Bottom line. But then again, I do give 78 credit, because this wasn't a shill. I've heard people shill before. You can hear he's actually genuine. He actually thinks that the referee stepped in, the referee saved Plant, the judges cheated Plant was winning. He actually thinks it. He actually believes it. The passion, the anger in his voice. He ain't joking. Oh, it was wonderful. It was amazing. I can't believe how great he did. Oh, he made one mistake. What? For me, making one mistake is when you won every round and then made one mistake. He didn't win one round. Genuinely, if you didn't give Plant one round, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain. Because it maybe the first round. And that's because Alvarez didn't throw any punches. Yeah, I'll tell a lie. He won the first round. The first round he won. By default. And you want to talk about how amazing it was. It's mad though, isn't it? And spin it into a conspiracy against Alvarez. Anyway, before I go, the last thing I want to talk about is... Let me read my notes here, quick time. Oh yeah, this is the thing. He says these words. For me, again, it's the wording. He uses proper powerful sentences and phrases. He says, wow. Oh man, wow. Yeah, oh man, you know what? Plant, he gave Canelo everything he could handle. Wow, everything he could handle. Do you know how mad that is? He gave Alvarez everything he can handle. That for me, let me think of an example of a performance like that. Let me think of a performance where someone gave their opponent everything they can handle. Let me think. It's difficult. Trying to think of an example now. Listen, in fact, let's stay close to home. Yeah, Fury versus Wilder. 1, 2 or 3. That is what you call someone giving someone something, all they can handle. Touched him all, Me Too'd him. Yeah, that was a Me Too session. That's what you call Me Too. This Me Too. Look at Alvarez's face. Alvarez didn't have a mark on his face. I've seen Alvarez more marked up with a 10-ounce headguard on after sparring. Big pillow gloves. Seriously. It's mad. And the last thing he says is that he goes, The referee must have sucked someone off. The referee must have sucked someone off. Just shocking stuff, man. Listen, 78. Plant. No, you know what? I'm not even going to explain it. You ain't got no IQ to explain it too. You just don't get it. But then again, I do appreciate 78 because we need people like him for entertainment. That's ultimately what YouTube is about. YouTube is about listening to the goofiest opinions from the goofiest dons. No doubt.